Hello and good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you. The good and well people for Tube. Hope you're today everything grand and all is well in your world. It's finally arrived, everybody. Finally. It's finally arrived. So, let's get unboxing and have a first impressions of the Boss Katana Mark II. Rather excited about this, people of the Tube. Rather excited to try this out. We're in. Is it weird that it smells the same as the other katanas? Polystyrene. Is this okay? Can you see? You can't see. Let me put it on the floor. I'll be back. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh god, that handle's come on, out you come. More cardboard. Okay, this seems to be heavier than the other katanas. Oh, it's there. I was about to say, I hope we haven't had a Fender Champion 50 problem again. I know kettle lead, but it's okay, they're there. Okay, so, yeah, let's reposition the camera again. Okay, so, here we are. Boss Katana Mark II. First impressions on just the way it feels. It feels, weirdly, it feels, I don't know. The build quality on original Katana blew me away, but for some reason this feels more refined. I don't know. But one thing I am annoyed about is the little stand that he had on the bottom on Mark 1's gone. That was ace. That was brilliant. And that helped me out a lot of gigs, just angling the amp up. So why have they got rid of that? I don't know why they got rid of that. It's really, really weird. But, I don't know. It feels a bit more, I don't know. I like it. Stereo expand. Let me give you a close-up. Okay, so I bought the 100 because I wanted all the features. So I just want, you know, I'm more likely to gig a 100 watt amp than I am a 50. So I just splurged for a little bit more just to get the 100. And also I like the idea. I like the idea of having an effects loop as well, just in case I want to go out and do some looping. And the 50 doesn't have that. So yeah. So I'm really annoyed about that little prop stand that was in the bottom of the amp. I'm a bit annoyed they took that away, actually, to be honest with you. So this is quite crazy. So we've got an effects loop, line out. I wonder what that's like. Power amp in, stereo expand. I have no idea what that does yet. I'll leave that till the actual review to talk about that. Record out, that'll be interesting. I'll have to try that at some point. USB, usual stuff. One thing I do like is, let me just turn it back around. Oh, it's heavy. It's a lot heavier than the other model. One thing I do like is the dual concentric dials on here, so you can actually have a bit more control over the effects. You know, the booster, the modulation, the effects, and the delay. You've got a bit more control over it. I don't know whose settings they are, but they certainly won't be mine. Okay, so I like the channel. I like the fact we've still got 4 things. I'm curious about the variation switch. That's really kind of piquing my interest. But one of the things I am massively curious about is how better is this to the original? Because surely with the advent of the Mark II, the Mark 1s will be going down in price. So I am curious if it is worth buying the new one or just getting the old one if it's just as good. You have more features on the new one, definitely, but not many. And if it doesn't sound any different, then I kind of am failing to see the point. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, let me plug it in. Let's plug it in and see what happens. Okay, so plugged in and the Katana is on and we're in the clean mode on the panel setting. One thing quickly I will say is I wish they'd kept that little leg on the bottom. I use that a lot. I use that all the time actually on my other on the Mark 150 and the Mark 100 I've got. That foot was always out. I never didn't use that, and it actually made my amp stand kind of null and void because that little leg that tipped the amp back a little bit just actually gave me the ability to just not cart around an amp stand. I could just put it on the floor and just tilt it back, and I could hear it just really well. So anyway, being that what it is, I thought they would have maybe expanded on that. I wish they'd kept it. It's kind of a bit naff that it's not there actually. To be honest with you, that's kind of like it's like my first major negative of this amp is that was really good. That little foot on the bottom, it was really cool. Anyway, so yeah, we're on the clean mode at this point in time. I've got gain and volume on 10. Bass is off, and I'll show you why in a minute. I've got mid. I've just kind of like done a quick preliminary kind of thing to check the levels and make sure everything's okay. I've got mids at 9 o'clock. Treble is all the way off. Bass is all the way off. I've got no effects or anything like that at this point in time. I've got reverb. I've got the green reverb on at this point in time. Presence is at 12. We're in the 0.5 watt mode, so just nice low volume mode. It's kind of a volume where I can just about talk over the top of it. And yeah, this is kind of where we are. We're clean channel. It's a clean sound. Let's go to a different reverb. Spring reverb. I like the spring reverb. It's got the it's got that kind of Dick Daly kind of like. It's got that springy sound. That's all I can say. is gorgeous. That's a really nice clip. That spring reverb is lovely. I want to max it out. Bit much. Let's just knock it back a bit. 3/4. Go to G. I want to try this spring reverb with overdrive. Anyway, so that's the clean channel. Well, let's try variation. It's clean variation. I'm going to stick to that spring reverb. That's making me very happy. I like that sound. So, okay, so just a quick recap. Gain and volume are on 10. Bass is all the way down. Mid is at 9 o'clock. Treble is all the way down. No effects at all, just reverb. And it's basically it's been about half to a quarter. Presence is at 12 o'clock. And the volume is at like a quarter on the 0.5 watt mode. And it's just it's quite a nice kind of bedroom volume, if you will. It's might knock it down a bit more, actually. It's peaking the camera a smidge. Nice. Is it any different to Mark 1? I don't know. That reverb's definitely nice. I mean, the spring reverb in this one that actually has that kind of pop that the original Mark 1 doesn't have, but that's not really that important. Anyway, variation, because I say on the Mark 2, as I'm sure quite a lot of us know now, you've got a variation. You've got like 2 different tones. So this is variation 1. There's variation 2. And I've lost all volume. Where's my volume? Why is that so quiet? Okay, fine. Okay, moving along. So let's go to crunch now. Let's go to the crunch mode and... There seems to be there seems to be a bigger bass response with this Katana than to the Mark 1. The low end seems to be a lot more prominent, and it's kind of eating it. That's no bass. Maxed out the presence. Okay, I'm moving on. I'm not a fan of that. I don't really like the crunch. Okay, so lead now. Let's go to the lead mode. Like that, the crunch mode was not doing it for me at all. That really didn't inspire me. That, on the other hand. I've got to say, I cannot wait to run this next to the Mark I and just to see. In all fairness, I think I might do a comparison video before I even do like a full review on this. So I want to know. I really want to know what is the difference. You know, what are the differences? Okay, so that's lead mode. What's the variation on the lead? Am I going to get no volume again? I don't like the volume dip. It's scooped, but there's no such a volume jump. People of the tube, if anyone's got a Mark II Katana, does that happen with your variation switch, or is it just me? Is it the way I've got the amp set? I don't know. Love that sound though. That sound is wicked. Buy that. Happily buy that. Okay, so let's move on to the brown mode now. Leave the EQ where it is. Bring the bass down. This seems to have less gain than Mark I. Mark I's brown mode was not like really. There's a lot of gain. There's not as much gain in this one. Brown mode like if I set it clean, because that was one of the things I always like to do. Play that, Dave. You nearly did. Nice. I've got the brown mode, still does that really nice John Frusciante clean broken up tone. drop. I don't get the volume drop. I really want to know how this differs to the first Mark 1. Because my first impression is, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. It really is. I mean, that sounds awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it to bits. But I love Mark 1. And, like, how different can this... I don't feel any different. That just sounds like Mark 1. Not to be horrible to Boss, but you know, that's what the Mark 1 sounds like. Let's try some effects. Let's see what's going on with the dual concentric dials. So let's go for effects first. Let's get how do you do this? Okay. How do you change it? Oh, I see. I think. No, I don't. Oh, I see. That's crazy. Is it? Sorry, everyone. 1 second. My tiny little brain is trying to understand how this works. Oh, I get it. Yeah, dual concentric. I'm being an idiot, everybody. Top 1 is for delay. Bottom 1's for effects. You are a fool, David Simpson. Sometimes. Tremolo! I like the fact I can now run delay on that as well. That is one thing I will say that this has going for it, which I absolutely love. It's a wicked feature in the fact that you don't just have one effect. Now you can literally have reverb, delay, tremolo, chorus, and a booster on all at the same time. That's really cool. That is super cool. That's a really cool thing. So okay, so let's just go through effects. What have we got in effects? Tremolo. Yeah. Auto-wah. Oh, octave divider. Let's do some gained up heavy riffs. I want to play Roy Gallagher. Why can't I? Why am I not allowed? Okay, so then it's back to treble. Okay, so let's go for some delay. What we got delay wise? Yeah, just usual delays. Quite nice though. turn the delay off. So what we got here then? Okay, so let's go to modulation. Go back to a clean sound. Or both. All the clean sound is just is the brown mode, just with the gain all the way down. It's like a phaser. Is that a phaser or a chorus? There's a phaser. So that's chorus then. Chorus, that's really rich. Oh, the phaser. Okay, so let's go for a booster. The booster's a lot quieter than Mark 1. Mark 1's booster would make the amp hiss quite a lot. That's actually maxed out on the boost, and it's actually quite quiet, so that's really cool. How much gain the amp can't turn off? Whoa, that's a pissy. Okay. So I want to go back to the lead. One sec. Okay, so I've just gone back to the lead channel because I just want to play. One quick thing to notice, sorry, should I say, not notice, silly boy, is the settings I'm using are the settings I use on the Boss Katana 100, the Mark 1 that I have downstairs. And this is the one thing that makes me want to compare these two, because these sound identical. So what I want to know is, to play devil's advocate, is are the little extra features of this worth it over the Mark 1, which is substantially cheaper? I think I prefer the phaser on the Mark 1. It sounds a bit more uni-vibey. to play. Trying to get around. Not actually playing it. Do love that sound sounds wicked. It sounds wicked. That spring reverb is gorgeous. What does the booster like? Roll on. I can't say it doesn't sound good and it's not good, because it is. People of the Tube, what do you think? I want to know what... Don't know. I mean, it sounds great. I mean, there's certain things about it, aesthetically, that look... Like I say, just a little bit more neatened out than the Mark 1, but... Sound-wise, I wonder... I mean, it sounds really cool. It does sound really, really cool. And I do love it, and I do like it a lot, but it doesn't feel much different to Mark 1. Yes, there's different features and there's other bits, but the sound and the way it feels and responds, I don't know what I was expecting. Because in all fairness to me, the Mark 1 Katana was like one of the most perfect amps of all time to me, in my opinion. Like the Katana is just like one of those amazing amps that I'm just like, I recommend to everyone. I absolutely adore it to bits. But the Mark II, although I love it and it's wowing me, it's not wowing me any more than the Mark 1 did. It's not doing anything the Mark 1 doesn't do, and it's not making me feel any different to where the Mark 1. They're both really, really inspiring, but people of the Tube, Monday's video is a shootout between this and the 100. The Mark 1 100, because I need to know. And I need to know before I do a review of it. It's a very easy amp to navigate. It's a very easy amp to use, just like the Mark 1. Sounds great. The crunch channel was a bit... I didn't like the crunch channel as much. The Mark 1's crunch channel was a lot nicer than... It seemed a bit harsh in this one. I missed the leg. I do have some negatives. We're going to have to do a shootout, people of the Tube. Monday's vid is going to be a shootout between these two, because I am very curious and I want to know. I really want to know. I've Boss just added a few little bits and gone, yeah, that'll do as a Mark II. It's like, yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not thinking straight. I don't know. But to me, people of the Tube, at this point in time, it's awesome. It's an awesome amp, but I do have reservations about if it's better or different or whatever to the Mark 1. So anyway, there you go, everybody. That's kind of like my first impressions on this. Let me know your first impressions, and what do you think to the sound of it in comparison to like the Mark 1 that I've demoed. Let's say, by the way, today we're just on room mics as well. We're not close mics or anything like that. We'll do that for Monday, but because I think what I'll do on Monday, I'll do a close mic and a room mic as well, to so you kind of get the blend of the two. Just give you an idea of what it sounds like in the room, and then also gives you the sound of the thing. I'll have both going, but I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I love it. It sounds wicked, and I'd immediately go to a gig with this. Any second, I'll go to a gig with this. I'll be happy bunny. But is it just worth getting the Mark 1? Is the question I want to ask. Because, like I say, with the advent of the Mark 2, you can pick up the Mark 1s cheap now, second hand, or the prices will go down because they're like they're no longer, they won't be making the Mark 1 anymore. So you know, is it worth just getting the Mark One if it just sounds as good? It's, you know, you still got access to the tone studio on the Mark One, and you still got access to all those effects. Yeah, you don't have the dual concentric dials, but that's not the be all and end all kind of thing. Because if you've got the tone studio, you can just assign things. So I don't know. Maybe I'm missing the point altogether. I don't know. I'm not underwhelmed because I didn't really know what to expect. I was like, Mark II Katana, how can it be better than Mark 1? Because Mark 1 is stunning. You know what I mean? It's, yeah, Mark 1 is virgining on that amp perfection for me. It's just incredible what you can do with the thing. You know, the small package, the volume, the power it's got is just awesome. So I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. People of the Tube, let me know. Let me know what you think. And if anybody's bought the Mark II, let me know what your impressions are of it as well. And especially if you've tried the Mark 1. I'm really curious because, like I say, I'm not underwhelmed, but I am a little bit underwhelmed because I don't know. It just doesn't sound any different. It doesn't feel any different. I mean, it feels heavier, and the aesthetics of it seem a little bit more refined, but it's not built any, you know, any more or less sturdy. The Mark 1's not any less sturdy or anything. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. That's very interesting. I say, Mark, we're gonna have to do a shootout on Monday between this and the Mark 1 because I'm very curious. I am very curious. So yeah, people of the Tube, let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. And I'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend, and have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. I'm gonna go and play on this a little bit more and just figure out where we are with it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. I'll see you again very soon. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, and goodbye now. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.